Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Appreciationist. My name is Peter Hartman, and boy, do we have a show for you today. We have a full room with our lovely friends here. I see Alex, I see Anne, I see our producer slash co-host Samantha Barley. Thank you for being here. Our resident life coach is in the room. For those of you who don't know, we have this thing called a lower third. This is where you can see my beautiful name and our website. Unfortunately, Sam's is not working, so I want to let you guys know. Go over to SamanthaBarley.com if you want to find out more about her. Guys, we're going to have a fun topic here today, accessing abundance. We want to talk about cool websites, cool things online that allow us to do more. So we're going to have a quick conversation about that, kind of teasing the event that we're going to be having later this month. But before we get to that, I want to say welcome to everybody in the room. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Fine.
Awesome. Oh, we hear Val now. Excellent. Very cool.
Oh, you got her. Hi, Val.
Hi. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Fine, thank you. Glad you guys can hear me. I have lots to say now.
Really happy to hear everybody. So let's just jump right into it because we're going to do our best to end on time, so that way you guys can get a nice short show to watch. So we're going to start with in the news. You guys know what's in the news recently? So I'm not really picking only what's in the news, but I'm picking what's newsworthy this week and this time. Because I don't want to always talk about the Keystone Pipeline, and I don't want to always talk about North Korea. So we'll talk about, have you guys heard of the self-driving bus?
No, I haven't.
No.
Now, I can't believe I've never even thought of the idea. I've thought about self-driving cars, planes, all kinds of things, but I never thought of actually a bus. And there's a company called Easy Mile who is now bringing a driverless bus to America. And once it gets there and it gets tested, hopefully it will expand more and more. Shoot, I just realized that's actually my what a great idea, but we'll put that in the news here. Easy Mile. Okay, so it's this electrical vehicle, so it doesn't pollute the environment. It you can use an app to get it right to where you are on demand, like you would with an Uber. It can fit 12 people, so that's where I find kind of a limitation. But it's perfectly green. And would you guys like to live in a city that had buses that were driverless?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Actually, let's just say I'd be open to explore it. However, the downside is that if I needed some assistance, the lack of human communication, that's where I have a huge problem with. I'd go on for a trial ride for fun. We always we're human nature, we require communication with others. That's the only downfall I could see right now. And cutting out a person's survival need by a computer. Not so good.
I can really get that. What do you guys think about a driverless car? Driverless bus? Would you try it?
I would definitely try it. I think that it would be a very good idea. What I'm thinking is we might need some sort of moderator on the bus, like in case there's a fight, in case there's somebody with, who's handicapped who can't get on the bus, or something that can help people in that sense, But otherwise, I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely the bus isn't for everyone, and of course you don't want to just use that. You want to also have the human contact sort of option. But it's really cool for students who have to just get between from their house, public transportation to their university. If for short distances, like from here to the grocery store and back, with driverless cars, you're able to create these custom routes, right? You don't have to actually do the tried and true routes, and it gives people more options. And I think it would free up people on buses and things like that, so that people who need to use that can use that. And it's good for the environment. And also, honestly, I know we talk about safety when it comes to driverless vehicles, but driverless vehicles are, research has shown, safer than with humans, because humans make human error and computers don't. But of course, we live in a world where it's middle ground. People want human contact. There's all these things, and so I say the best of both worlds. I think the driverless car is really cool. Something else I find really cool. Have you guys heard that they're making some headway on anti-aging? Okay, so they take these two mice, an old mice and a young mice, and they hook them up together through parabiosis. That's where you connect the vascular system of one creature to another so that they share a blood supply. And what they found was that the old mouse got rejuvenated, sort of like a fountain of youth. They got their brains worked better, they were smarter, their hair was shinier, their tissue healed more. And so I envision a day where when you're young, you are stockpiling your blood so that when you're old, you can transfuse yourself and get yourself a boost. Right now, it doesn't make you younger, but what it will do is help you with healing after a surgery. It will help the elderly with their ailments. It will sort of bring the tissue back to its regular function. What do you guys think about that? Alex.
I think it brings a whole new danger to kidnapping.
Oh my God. Alex, you gotta write that down and use that in your next act, because that was hilarious. What about you, Val? What do you think about the idea of this? Is it creepy?
I don't think so. That's not my first reaction. No, I think it's fabulous. I think it's like, I don't know, that's why I love science. I think it's great. It's a great idea, and yeah, really. But yeah, it changes your perspective, and of course some people like Alex will think of all kinds of twisted ways. But it's funny.
That's really cool. Well, something else that's cool is this, it's a magnetic pulse that they put into your brain. So they've been using this magnetic pulse for all kinds of reasons, for treating depression and things like that. But they're using this magnetic thing that zaps the threat awareness portion of your brain. Okay, and what's interesting about this is when they put this threat, this magnetic thing to disable the part of your brain that recognizes threats, people stopped believing in God, right? Because they weren't afraid anymore, and they were more welcoming to immigrants if they were at once worried about immigration. There's something about reducing the threat response that allows you to be more open with immigrants and less willing to acknowledge God. Now, I think that's interesting. It was kind of weird when I read it. I read it for the immigrant part, and the God thing kind of threw me. But I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, that's in the news here today. We won't dwell too much on that. And the last thing I want to tell you guys is something that Sam, our producer, sent to me earlier this week. It's actually a really, really cool thing. A man, he was stranded on the ocean in a boat for 438 days. He survived by catching turtles and birds and eating them raw. 400 days. A real life castaway. And what I found interesting, the reason I'm talking about this is because the way he survived, the way he tried to keep himself sane, was that he would imagine, he would visualize his friends and family visiting him on the boat, and he would talk to them. For all that time, he created a world for himself so that he wouldn't lose his mind. And what's interesting there is that he wanted to commit suicide. He actually put the knife to his neck, but because he believed in God and suicide would send you to hell, he couldn't do it, so he had to find a way. Thank God he didn't have the magnetic race for his head, you know, or he wouldn't have this wonderful story. Anyway, that's what's in the news. I wanted to talk about that. You guys are awesome for putting up with that. The most important thing we do during the show is, of course, called a moment of appreciation. And that's when we look back at the past 7 days. Oh, don't move my hands. We look back at the past 7 days, and we pick out something that we appreciate. It could be something that was good that happened, that's easy to appreciate. It could be something that wasn't so great, but now you can see value in it. Part of me, I think I want to change my spiel there, because sometimes you have to wait a while before you can appreciate something that didn't go well. But anybody here have a moment of appreciation you want to share?
Sure. Oh, Alex, go ahead.
No. I go last.
Okay, Alex will go last. Val, you want to go first?
Sure. Some of you already know about it. On Sunday, I went. I spent the day with a friend of mine who invited me for brunch, and then we decided to go to Parc Maisonneuve for a walk, and we just walked aimlessly. And then we saw this tree, this beautiful yellow tree with branches really low to the ground. And so we went to that tree because we were drawn to it. So we went there, and the branches were so low that honestly a baby could have been sitting on the ground and still touched a branch because it was so low. And so we decided to give hugs to the tree, and we just had the best time with that tree. we climbed it. I mean, it doesn't take much to get there, and you sit there, and then you could feel the wind with it. So it was supporting you, and then you felt like you were flying a bit. And when I was on the ground and just hugging or just holding one of its branches with the wind, it would go up and down. So I felt like sometimes the tree was supporting me, sometimes I was supporting it. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Both my friend and I were both, I mean, we had tears in our eyes a couple of times. And when we left, we couldn't even say anything for a while because it was just a touching moment. So that's it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's really cool. I really like that. And I really love that you sent us the picture of it. You know, you immediately put me back into my childhood, reminding me of climbing trees. And the first thought I had when you sent us the picture is, hey, why haven't I climbed a tree? So it's really cool that you found that. Thank you very much for sharing that. Sam, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to say, Val, if somebody wants to read your blog, where should they go?
It's called movementneverlies.wordpress.com.
Very good. Yeah, I read it the other day, and it was beautiful. It was just so nice to it was like I was there. You were describing it so nicely.
Yeah, it's nice. It was a great moment.
Excellent. Who's next? Who wants to share? Anne, you have a moment of appreciation for us?
Sure. Sometimes I'll get down at this time of year because I'm affected by the lack of sunlight, and especially with a lot of cloudy days. But I have found that recently, within the last week, I was involved very intensely with volunteer work, with helping out in the community, and that just really just changed my perspective and brought me back down to appreciating the simple ways in life, and also just keeping busy. You know, the little bit different distraction is really nice. So, and everyone around is very grateful. I mean, who's involved in these certain community projects and so on. So it just, you know, that value just took me out of my kind of, brought me back into the present moment, to focus in the present moment. And that's quite a challenge to do in this day and age, and for everybody, especially with a lot of technology around us. And it brought back that simplicity, that reminder that I needed.
Oh, that's really sweet. Oh, that's awesome. We all really need that reminder. Thank you very much for giving that to us. And one of the easiest ways for you to feel better, it's not foolproof, but it's to help someone else. It's to give back. And if you can't get the sun, then you can use human beings. You know, really, really cool, really touching, really awesome. Oh, you guys are both gonna make me cry today. What's up with you, Val? And you guys trying to make me cry? Trying to make me tear up? Let's hear it. Let's hear what Sarah has to say for her moment of appreciation.
It won't make you tear up. My moment of appreciation is, so I don't know if you guys know how into zombies Peter is, but he's in love with zombies. And so we've been watching The Walking Dead, we've been watching zombie movies, but lately we started playing a video game called, well, it's called The Walking Dead. It's a Telltale video game called The Walking Dead. And the thing is, you get to play as one of the characters and you have choices to make. Your choices will determine which way the game goes, who dies, you get to save lives, you get to fight off zombies. And so we found that recently, and now we're already on season 2. But yeah, my moment of appreciation is this weekend we spent, I don't know how many hours just playing these zombie video games, killing people and stuff. I mean, killing zombies mostly.
Yeah, no, sometimes we kill people.
Sometimes we kill people, but what's extremely funny is that, like, I get to play sometimes because it's a one-person game, so we're either watching or playing. But I'll be like playing, or no, Peter will be playing, and then he's about to make a decision, and I'm like, no, don't do that. And so it's very funny to see like how the game goes based on the fact that we're both this one character choosing different things. And I'm like, no, you killed him, you killed him. Anyway, it's just extremely fun, and I never thought I would like zombies so much.
I am tearing up.
Oh, you're gonna cry because I like zombies.
That's pretty cool. And we pass the remote back and forth, and so Sam will make decisions that I won't make, and so it's like this schizophrenic character. But what's interesting is that it reveals who you're dealing with. Sam will make decisions that I think are cold-hearted sometimes. You know, I'm like, whoa. And so it's really, really fun to get a glimpse.
So I'm usually the one who's really nice, making the nice decisions, trying to help everybody. But then because of that, we get screwed over, and then somebody dies because of what I did. And it's like the zombie apocalypse. You have to be tough. You know?
Yeah, you gotta be tough. You gotta be tough. That's really, really cool. It's funny to think about how I had to twist your arm to start watching The Walking Dead, and she was like, "I'll watch it if you watch every episode with me." Yeah. I was like, "She's pretty smart. She's pretty smart." Really cool. Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that, Alex. Oh no, you want to go last? So should I go first? I put you on mute. Okay. So my moment of appreciation. So we went to the Late Show with Matt Shurry. He has this monthly Late Show. It's the first Thursday of every month. It's $10. It's really, really cool if you like that kind of thing. He's super funny. So we went there. Valerie, another Valerie, came out. So I was happy to get to see her. Got to hang out with her just a little bit. I wish I could hang out with her more. And then also got to see Isabel there. So it's really, really cool. And then we also had a newcomers meetup in Vigo. That was Monday, and that was super fun, super excellent. I don't get to do them nearly as much as I used to. We do them once a month. And so I got to see these new members. Every one of them engaged. And they remind me of you, you know. You remind me of people like you who, are, like I know, will engage, will want to stick with it, and are willing to change their lives. And so it's really fun as a teacher talking to students who are really interested in changing and improving themselves. So that was a total blast. And yeah, that's what I got to say, Alex.
Okay, I guess I could do a couple quick. One, I found this book that on my quest of finding books that speak to me, 99% of which do not. It's called like The Antidote, Happiness for People Against Positive Thinking. And basically it's like, it's looking, honestly, it kind of makes a lot of sense because it looks at kind of focusing on the negative from like a Stoic perspective and like Buddhist perspective and stuff. And it's kind of like, ultimately the idea is when you focus on the negative and get rid of it, you're left with the positive. And they did all these studies where they told people to think positively who were like miserable, people who were already happy, and people who were kind of in the middle. And essentially, by scanning their brainwaves, everyone they told to think positive and act happy were actually more miserable after being told to be that way. And the people who figured out that their worst case scenarios were kind of meaningless and would never happen instantly became happier. And it's such a massive shift. It goes against like everything I've ever read, but I'm like, that makes a whole lot of sense. And when I think back to the times that I had really huge positive shifts, it was like, oh, well, I could go bankrupt right now, and then I'd be okay. And it's that like, oh, that would be fine if that happened, and then you come out of it super happy. And there was a philosopher called Albert Ellis that I never really read about, but it looks like this whole social freedom and like actively looking to get rejected and stuff came from him. And it's like he did an experiment like 100 years ago almost that was all the same things that like I've done, and I was like, I could not comprehend that these concepts were this old. Like, it was insane.
It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to know that you've tapped into a vein that, you know, you find an original thought, that's one thing, but you find a vein that's been tried and true, that's been there before, and it makes you feel good about it. It's like you're on the right track, you know?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I really love that. Thank you very much for sharing that. There's something about always trying to be happy and positive that can cause you some trouble. And part of what we learn, and we all learn this in some way, but we learn acceptance. And that's really, truly how you become a more positive person. It's not by seeking out those things that are always happy, but by seeing the value in what's not so great. And that's why we exercise our moment of appreciation here, our ability to appreciate, because it's very, very important. I bet if we had Beidi here, she'd be talking about some type of car crash or skateboarding incident or rifle range accident, and we'd all be laughing about it. So wishing you well out there, Beidi. Wonderful. I'm glad we spent all that time on a moment of appreciation, because it really is the most important thing that we do during the show. I told you guys, though, what a great idea earlier. It was easymile.com, which is the self-driving buses. So please go go ahead and check that out. Just give it a look. It looks interesting, and of course they're going to make it better. And of course we can put people that can drive the bus in there. They can just sit down behind the computer and just be there in case something happens. You know, I think the human connection is very important. Anyway, so that's really fun. Look, today's topic is accessing abundance. So what I want to do is just quickly, I want to tell you guys, and I want to ask you guys, are there any sites? Just name one site that you use or you've heard of that you think is helpful to people, that you think would actually allow people to do more, okay? And so the site that comes to mind right now, I think of Etsy.com. Have you guys ever heard of Etsy.com, ETSY.com? Well, Etsy, there are a lot of people making a living making little jewelry and baubles and things and selling it online. You know, you don't need your own shop. You don't need the overhead, and you can sell it directly to people who are ordering it. And it's a model, of course, that the future will imitate. In the future, we won't have huge department stores. What you'll do is you'll go online and order exactly what you want. That way, we won't have huge warehouses filled with stuff. And I just kind of like the site. If you're a crafty out there, I say, why not try to put something up on Etsy.com? Have you guys seen any sites that that in some way allow people to access abundance, allow people to do more than they expected?
Yes, like with the like Val, for example, you have your blog, is it, or a website? Your own. Okay, blogs, website, like blogs, I guess more in particular. You get to express yourself, and you will naturally attract interested other parties to read about your interests, which will turn out to be their interests as well, and spread the word of nice things, whatever the topic is about.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. One powerful tool for self-improvement is keeping a journal, or on the other end of that is to have a moment of introspection. Now you can do that in the privacy of your own house, in the privacy of your own mind. But if you do what Seth Godin, a famous marketer, says, he says, start a blog, okay? Start a blog and just write down your thoughts every day. Write every single day. And there's something about putting your thoughts down on paper, putting your thoughts down online, that causes you to really evaluate who you are. And then you get the added bonus of attracting or connecting, like Anne says, with those people who are like you. And so Val mentioned her blog, Movement Never Lies. The website she uses is WordPress.com, which is a phenomenal tool for allowing anybody to be able to start something. So the barrier to entry is super, super low. That's a really, really cool idea, blogs and things like that. Sam, you have something?
I would suggest Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. This is where anybody can go and start selling something starting at $5. So everything there that you're going to purchase is starting at $5, and then there's other, you know, you can add on and do more. So right now I'm selling 15 minutes of life coaching for $5. And then there's like add-ons and stuff like that. There's all sorts of different things up there. I even saw where there were pilots who are piloting a plane who you purchase this thing for $5. Probably you have an add-on with that one, but they're like in the cockpit and saying a message to somebody you care about, or somebody who might be interested in flying, or something like that. So like there's like, you can be extremely creative. There's things for designs, creating designs, logos, things like, there's like really tons of things on there. So oh yeah, people do teaching English and French and things like that as well. Yeah, it's definitely something to look at.
It's a very cool. Sam is always meeting, getting new clients from something like that, and it's a really cool activity to sit down. You know, Sam, you brought up a really wonderful website, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. It's an excellent site. It causes you to ask yourself, what is it that I can offer that is of value? Okay, and the price point you're looking at is $5. What is it that you can do, or that you can make, or that you can help that would be worth $5? And it's a really cool exercise. It's a really cool way of seeing the value of what you have to offer and then giving you a platform to do it. So everybody should definitely check that out. Now, do you have any site? I know you use WordPress. Are there any sites that you've heard of that, you know, allow people to access abundance?
Well, I'm thinking just business. Fiverr would be one of them. That's the one I was thinking of, but I found out about it through you guys. Now I'm thinking more of websites that help to change your perspective, or, you know, so I mean, blogs are they're some of them. But I mean, you're happy for a change website. I like a lot. And I also go to Abraham Hicks because I get quotes every day, and that changes my perspective or opens my mind to something. So things like that. That's what I like a lot, because I find it just it changes your everyday.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's also it's probably more important that you change your thoughts and minds so that you can use these tools more effectively. So you're really giving us the fundamental, the ground floor, what's really important. So getting your mind straight, and sites like what you mentioned are really important for that. You were one of these people who used 7 cups of tea, right?
Yes. Yes.
Was that helpful in helping your mind? Or?
It's fabulous. I think it's very helpful for people who need the help, and for people who like to help, who are listening there. I think it's fabulous. It's actually a very, to me, I mean, it was a touching experience. It really, it's quite amazing. And that this site, the way it was done is really built on, you can tell, on compassion and kindness, because as you interact with the person, you give little hearts every time it's there. You know, there's something kind that's been said, and so I think it's really, it encourages that between people, and I love that about it.
Wonderful, excellent. Alex, do you have any sites that allow people to access abundance?
I mean, I actually go on surprisingly few websites, but even though it's website/app, I'll just throw out Headspace. It's the meditation app I use, and you access abundance because there's a lot of, it does cost money, but it gives you like hundreds of hours of recorded material, and you get to see how many people are meditating, so it's like you're kind of meditating in a group, even though you're doing it from the comfort of your home. So I'm just going to count that.
Excellent. That's cool. I really like that. Yeah, Headspace, I know you talked to me about it a lot, and you sing its praises. I actually have the app. I think it's really, really wonderful. There are some paid features to it, but definitely worth the trouble. Before I let you guys go, I want to look. I'm just going to tell you one more site. It's called lifehacker.com. Lifehacker.com. Have you guys ever heard of this?
Nope.
Okay, lifehacker.com is a site. It's unlike other sites that I would mention here, but because we're on the show, why not? I can say it. So, Lifehacker, what it does is that it gives you. People are obsessed about being efficient, about making their life a little bit better in all kinds of ways. And so when you find some way to make your life a little easier, that's called a life hack. I'll tell you one life hack that I learned. Before I got these headphones that clearly have, this side is on the left and this side is on the right, I used to have headphones that didn't have this, so I never knew which was the left and right ear. And I'm kind of OCD, it needs to be in the right ear. And so on life hack, somebody said to just tie a knot inside, a loose knot inside of the headphones like this. And then I always knew which side, and I immediately stopped being irritated every single day. And so on the website Lifehacker, there are tons of life hacks. I've made guitar picks out of plastic bleach bottles. There's all kinds of tools on there of all kinds of subjects. A community of people dedicated to making life easier, cheaper, more affordable, all kinds of ways. So definitely check out lifehacker.com. The reason I bring this up is because our event coming up on November 22nd, I think I'm right, is that right, Sam? November 22nd? We have Prosper, and on Prosper, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, but my talk is going to be focused on these websites, these tools that are out there that allow you to access abundance in ways that you've maybe never considered, never heard of, or thought that it was harder than it should be. So Prosper is what's coming up. I want to let you guys know about this event. If you're not already a premium member, you might want to consider becoming a premium member, because then you can just come to this thing and to everything else that we're doing. But before I let you guys go, and before we do what's for dinner, I just wanted to do quickly let you guys know what's coming up on our calendar. Do you mind if we just take a quick second to let you guys know what's coming up?
Go ahead.
Excellent. So, Sam, did you have anything coming up first, or you want me to go first? If you pointed, I wasn't looking.
She pointed.
I go first. Okay, I go first. Excellent. So on our calendar, I mentioned November 22nd, we have Prosper. This Friday, the 13th? Okay, this is Friday the 13th. We have an Infinity, so ask questions, get answers. It's one of my favorite sessions to do because everybody can just come with their questions and just ask it. It's $10 for that event, but of course, if you're a premium member, you don't pay anything. And then we have a community discussion. This is subscribers only. It's Letting Go Inner Peace. It's a community discussion. It's going to be the 16th I believe this one is actually at a bar. It's going to be the first discussion I actually do at a bar. So if it's not already full, it's almost full. But if it's almost full, go check it out on RSVP. And then, of course, we have Valerie's French group discussion. That's on Thursday, the 19th, and it's called, what is it called?
Se choisir.
Se choisir, which means?
Like choosing ourselves or putting ourselves first. That's, yeah.
Excellent, wonderful. So if you're French speaking out there, or you wanna be involved with something French speaking, definitely go and check that out. Valerie's really wonderful, and she'll give you guys a good time. And unlike me, she'll let you speak. So you definitely want to check that out. Sam, what's coming up for you?
So for me, we're talking here about Self-Discovery Montreal. You can go to Meetup and just look up Self-Discovery Montreal, or link through my website, samanthabarley.com. So I actually have a group life coaching tomorrow about releasing fears. However, it's full, but you never know. Maybe somebody will change last minute. Other than that, I'm extremely excited. I'm doing the public speaking Leave Your Comfort Zone workshop again this Saturday. There's actually a lot of people who RSVP'd this time.
Anna's giving you the thumbs up.
What?
Anna's giving you the thumbs up.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Sorry, I'm not looking. I'm looking at the thing. Thank you. Yeah, so it's really for people who want to start getting out of their comfort zones and are really shy, and they want to start with public speaking. So I was always very shy, as you know. You might have seen in my video that I was always very shy. And so this meetup is really about, not about what you're saying, not about the talk that you're giving, but about just doing it. Being surrounded by people who are supportive, who are caring, who have your best interest in heart, who are there to support you. And you go up there for like 2 to 5 minutes and you give your talk. So beforehand, sorry, I'm explaining it completely. I'm so excited about it. So beforehand, we sort of talk about it. We make you feel at ease and all of that, and then you prepare, and then you do it, and then we discuss it afterwards, how you felt and all of that. So yeah, I'm extremely excited. The last one was wonderful, and so there's another one on Saturday.
That's really, really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sitting through that. I want to ask you guys, what's for dinner? What's for dinner is a segment. You tell me, what did you eat in the last 7 days that you enjoyed? And it could be something that you're going to be eating tonight. So what did you eat in the last 7 days that you enjoyed?
I'm going to be eating stir-fry tonight, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Tom's making me fresh fettuccine Alfredo, so looking forward to that. What about you guys? Eating anything cool?
Yesterday I made some soup, and I was really impressed. It was very good. It was zucchini and potatoes. It was super simple. But I guess that it was just the perfect balance of everything, and when I tasted it, it was like, wow, I made good soup. So
nice, very cool. Anne, what about you?
Well, I ate already. My husband made a delicious potato and leek with cheese little casserole, and we had some pork tenderloin on the side. But yeah, he's a good cook, so I'm really lucky.
Oh, tasty! Oh man, I'm getting hungry. I'm so happy that I get to eat after we do this segment because it's brutal. Alex, what about you? Anything cool? You're on this week. Oh.
Yeah. This morning, so there's this stuff called cream of wheat that's like oatmeal but more delicious, and you can make it with milk or with water. And I made it with milk, and I had these packets of hot chocolate, and I had this Rolo flavored hot chocolate that I poured into it while it cooked, and it was so good. I was like, oh my god! And yeah, it was milk, cream of wheat, and Rolo flavored hot chocolate powder, and it was amazing.
That is really cool. I've never heard that one before. Cream of wheat is my childhood food, and Sam has yet to make it for me. With the chocolate in there, she might do it. Really, really cool. Thank you guys so much for sharing your meals there. You guys go forth and be merry, and watch your kids, because like Alex says, they're coming for their blood. I mean, they're definitely coming. Anyway, take care, you guys. Have a nice night. Appreciate somebody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Super fun episode. Really cool.
We have nothing to say now. We already said our events.
We're free. We can do anything we want. I can move my hands now.
Yeah. I'm freezing, huh?
Okay. Goodbye. See you soon. See you next week, everybody.
See you next week, and tune in next Wednesday for another exciting episode of The Appreciationist. Take care.